Welcome to the Two Tunes podcast.
To the Two Tunes podcast.
You're
Bo.
I'm Bo.
I'm Brandon.
I thought you were gonna
No.
repeat.
I'm Bo. Brandon.
Well, no, I think it would be I'm Bo, and I would say I'm, and then you'd say I'm, and then I'd say Bo, and then you'd say Brandon.
Oh.
Anyways, my daughter's in the room, so
Yes.
there may be things going on. She'll be here next week too.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're exhausted. We had talked about
exhausted.
this off mic,
Yeah.
on mic. I'm also exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Plays this weekend. It's only an hour-long play,
Yeah.
so it's like super short.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be done by, well, we're striking today because it's the last day. And I'm more waiting around for everyone to leave than I am actually like watching the play.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm very heavily breathing.
Oh.
I'm like, hello. I'm just out of breath. I don't know why. Anyways, so that's going on. I went to a wedding, which is great. To the previous weekend, I went to a wedding in Pittsburgh. It was in this weird art space.
Yeah.
It's called the art room, but it's just an empty room.
Okay.
Where they like hold events.
Sure.
So like there's two rooms and the balcony in both of the rooms, like in the back half. And there's a basement. And in the basement it was there was a photo booth. But I didn't know that until like halfway through the night.
Oh.
It's like there's a photo booth downstairs. Oh my God. And the people that were getting married were the bass player of my band, Chuck, and then this girl that I've known almost my entire life because I was friends with her brother in elementary school. So they got married, and it was just like, it's weird in my mind because like I knew these people. I'm like, oh, that's that person I haven't seen in 23 years.
Mm.
Oh, there's that person that I haven't seen in 23 years that I
Yeah.
graduated with. And then there's like the code people. So it's a weird mixture of like, I knew a lot of the people.
Right.
Where a lot of the weddings that I've been to, it's like I know like 4 or 5 people.
Right, yeah.
This is like I knew the majority of people because
Yeah.
it's like, well, you're all Pittsburgh people and you're all Detroit people that I know because it was like Rich was there and other Detroit people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a fun time. I went to a guitar store.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Like Rich wanted to go. He's like, "Hey, I want to go to this guitar store. You want to go?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm down."
Yeah.
So we went, and they had a lot of guitars, but they only had 2 kinds of guitars.
Okay.
They had Taylor guitars, and they had Fender guitars, and that was it. Now I'm a Fender fan, so I was like, "That's cool. I can like go and play a bunch of Fenders." But it's like you only have Fender, and like they had other, but it wasn't like they had every single Fender guitar. There's
Okay.
like on like the whole side of the place was just Fenders, so you could play everything. And then they had another room that was just like custom shop stuff. So minimum $3,000.
Yeah.
So I'm like just grabbing them all. And the custom shop is like you kind of order what you want, and then they'll make it, and then they ship it to you.
Right.
Whoever orders their guitar is probably like, I really like thick neck guitars because they were all super thick. Like I have a Jazzmaster and it has a pretty thick neck, but it's not as thick as any guitar in there. I'm like, these are all like really, really, really thick. But I played a bunch and like they felt nice. And then I went back and did like the made in Mexico versions, or standard models, and played them. I'm like, yeah, this is okay. And then I played the Kurt Cobain signature Jaguar. And then like immediately like I picked it up, and it has like 3 knobs. So you have a volume and 2 tones, I think, or maybe it's 2 volumes and a tone. I just played them acoustically, not through an amp. And it's in a space that you're only supposed to have 2 knobs.
Okay.
Because like he got the Jaguar, and then it was heavily modded before he got it, and then that was his, and then because it's Kurt Cobain, they're like, well, we're gonna make an exact replica. And it's like, yeah, but like having 3 knobs that close together is like not cool.
Yeah.
because like you can't really like you could not put a finger in between the two knobs. It's like I wouldn't get this.
Yeah.
Like even though like yeah, cool, it's Kurt Cobain. It's like no,
This is like Kurt Cobain's actual guitar.
not actual guitar.
No, but I
like,
mean, like, that would be the reason to get it.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's his guitar, not just because it's designed off of his. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I guess that's all I did.
Yeah. I went to Philly last night.
Uh-huh.
Had a good dinner. Place called Butcher Bar.
Okay.
It was good. And then went to Long in the Tooth Records.
Cool.
Record store. I'd never been there before. I saw a Suicide Machine 7-inch that was $30, and I did not get it. While I'm sure it's worth that much, it was not worth that much to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, friends. I should have taken a picture of it to send you. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But my friend Mike was with me, and I was like, he like begrudgingly, he's nice. He goes to the record stores with me. I try not to make it too painful for him because he's not buying records. But he'll like look around a little bit, and then I was like, "Oh, here you go, dude." I was like, "Suicide Machines 7-inch for $30," and he's like, "Yeah, no."
What was it?
I don't remember, and I like kind of kicking myself now that I didn't take a picture of it.
What did it look like?
It was blue.
Was it blue and green?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Did it look old?
Yeah, it probably was. Like that's the thing. It was probably like an
Yeah.
old one. I just didn't like. I should have taken a picture of it, but I didn't.
Okay.
But I got a few things. They so I collect Impulse records, like records from the Impulse record label.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to I'll never get a complete set cuz like it's just too many, but like I'm trying to get as many as I can. And like if people can picture like the Kallax, like the IKEA shelf that everybody uses for their records.
Yeah.
I have one of those cubes is full already of the Impulse stuff that I own. So, but anyway, I found a couple. Well, actually, I found a ton there last night, but I would have spent like hundreds of dollars just to get all the ones I came across. So I got a couple of like the cheaper ones. But yeah, it was a cool place, and we didn't stay for too long because we were going to a show. But I always try to find record stores when I can, so it was a good one. And then I went to see Auntie Donna, and it was hilarious. For those that don't know, Auntie Donna is Australian sketch comedy. They have a podcast that they improvise each week, which is really funny. They have a whole series of things, of sketches and things they've done on YouTube. They had a Netflix show, and they have another show right now on the ABC in Australia.
Yeah.
But they're really, really hilarious, and they're doing this like world tour right now.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm reading up on Impulse Records.
nice.
And Caprica is like, can you... oh my gosh, she's doing the like...
Yeah.
I can't help you.
There's a good book called The House That Train Built
Yeah.
about the history of Impulse.
Well, here's the thing. It says that it's still in existence.
It is. It got revived.
Okay.
And there's been stuff over the years like that have been on it. Like Snarky Puppy's Silva
Okay.
was released on Impulse.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of one of the things that was kind of cool about their releases is the iconic spine of the outer sleeve and stuff was black and orange. Although not all of them are.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting. But it's kind of cool like when you like line them all up is that they all look the same. It's kind of neat. But like one of the ones I got yesterday was orange and blue. Or excuse me, black and blue, not so there's no even orange, which is like their iconic color.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. And then they were sold to like ABC at one point and then MCA. And so like sometimes you'll get ones that are like MCA Impulse or ABC Impulse and different things. Like the catalog numbers got weird at one point. Like they were just like all chronological and then they jumped to like the 9,000s. And it's like, what? And some don't have, like some of like the newer things don't have a catalog number. And so, but it's, I don't know. I generally like the stuff that's on there and I just think it's kind of cool to collect them. But
Would you, if they reissued things, would you get the reissues?
I've
or
gotten
do you
some
want-
reissues.
Do you want to get the original?
no, I don't care that much.
Okay.
Also because some of those things that I'll buy the reissue for, if I did find the original, it'd be astronomical, the price, or just much more than I'm willing to pay. So that was Mike was asking me about that,
Yeah.
like with some of the stuff, like about prices and things. And it's like, there's some things like that Suicide Machines thing. Like, I'm sure that is worth the $30 price tag that they had on it, but not to me. Like, maybe if it was like a rare MXPX 7-inch, like that would mean more to me. I might consider that more. I still probably wouldn't pay $30 for it, but like, I'd at least think about it a little bit more, but yeah.
So
I also found a few things besides getting jazz records and like other than just records of bands I like. I also like finding like random musical like cast recordings and stuff.
Okay.
So like shows I haven't heard of, or like shows that I haven't heard of, but they're written by people I've heard of and stuff like that, or like starring people I've heard of.
Yeah.
So I found a few of those last night too. So adding to my collection of stuff.
Yeah. I don't collect as much as I used to with things. Comics mainly.
Yeah.
Not at all. Hi, Caprica. I don't know what's going on. So we're here to talk about two tunes.
Yes.
And I'm first.
Yes.
So the 10th, October 10th.
Okay.
And it's October forever. This band.
It's 10:10.
So it's 10:10. Driveways. I don't know much about them. If I go to their Bandcamp,
Isn't there a band called Parkway Drive? They should tour with them.
Maybe. I don't know. Where did it say? It said something like just. Oh yeah, the bio is just dudes, and they're from Boston, Massachusetts, and they have 4 albums out right now, I think.
Okay.
And they were all released in October.
Oh.
In 2018, 2020, 2021, and 2022. So maybe they're going to release a new record soon.
Oh.
And they all kind of look similar.
Okay.
Like they're all orange. Well, not all of them. I think like 3 out of the 4 are orangey. And
spooky.
Yeah, they're spooky and are in the same font, and then like have like Driveways and then the name of the album underneath it. But they so I didn't dive in super hard into this band to figure like, are they a novelty band?
Yeah.
Like Ice Nine Kills is like all their songs are about horror movies. So I was wondering like, is that what they're doing? And the song that we have is the title track, October Forever. And it's also...
Sorry, this is interesting. I'm just like now looking at their stuff.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So October Forever, what we're listening to today is the last track, but the first track on that record sounds similar. So I don't know if like they're bookends. Like they're 2 different songs, but they kind of connect a through line. So I dig this.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you? Here you go. October Forever.
Cool.
By Driveways off of October Forever. Said the name. And then a bunch of lyrical references to Halloween, the movie.
Yeah.
Like even Michael wore a vacant expression.
This part sounds
like
something that I can't put my finger on.
Gotcha. That him yelling reminds me of crap. What is his name? The guy from Silverstein.
Oh, Shane Told.
Yeah, Shane Told.
Just listen to a good interview with him.
Yeah?
Yeah. On the Labeled podcast.
Oh, okay.
Which he wasn't on Tooth and Nail, but...
And now they mentioned Lord of Strode. Sorry, jump ahead.
So have you listened to more of their stuff?
Yeah.
Or mostly just like this album?
Some of this album.
Okay.
Not like all the way through. But it's intriguing enough to be like, I need to do that.
Yeah. I dig it. I've mentioned this before on certain, especially bands like in this sort of genre scene, whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's comfort food. Like when it's done well, like it's that thing. Like I know I can go to that and be like, yeah, I like that.
They have the thing of like, we'll start heavy, verse chorus, drop to the bridge, and then build back up.
And this is the last track, right?
Yeah, this is the last track on this album.
This is a heck of an album closer.
Yeah.
This feels like it should be like a
opener.
Or like somewhere earlier, yeah.
Yeah. Hardcore. It's really cool when you have like one note, just one. It's still there.
Pedal point.
I bet this. Well, he probably wrote it. Like the person who's playing it, obviously, is like, "This is what I'm going to do," and it's just like maybe they're the singer, so then they just have to focus on that, and instead of the synth part. I still want to emphasize every time we record, I always I find new things.
Oh yeah,
because of how we're listening to them. So I listen in my car. I listen with Apple EarPods, and then the AKG. What are they? 210s,
something like that.
Whatever the headphones. No, hold on. Hold on. This is gonna kick in. I know. Bam! I got it. I win.
Nice.
AKG K240 headphones. Oh my god, Caprica, you look so creepy. What do you want? It's when am I going to be done? We're halfway through this one episode.
She's doing a lot of good miming.
She is.
Because she knows if she talks, she'll be on the microphone.
Just come and talk. Come and be in the podcast. No? In like an hour and a half. Probably an hour. Not an hour and a half. She was asking, when will it all be over? Yeah. Deep thoughts with Caprica.
Why don't you go read everything on the internet?
That'll take at least an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Word. All right. Yeah, it's a good song.
I like it. That's why I brought it.
I'm curious. Part of the reason why I asked if you listen to more, because I'm curious, like, is it all Halloween themed and...
Okay. Oh, where are you? We'll just go to the record. If I can find it.
I mean, I assume that one is, or at least mostly. Okay, so I just opened up, like, their 2022 album.
Yeah.
Second track, Salem. So probably Witch Trials.
Yeah.
Nothing else really.
Well, here, on this record, Hold It Together.
Okay.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? 15/5. Contours. Cemetery Gates. F5, which might be, I don't know what it is. Leaves on Parade. Contradiction. Hollowed. Perennials. Sleep Paralysis. Not for Nothing. Halloween Forever.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I uncovered like a interesting thing, but I'm wrong.
It's the same thing.
Well, no. So this album, the last track is October Forever.
Yes.
That's the name of the album.
Yes.
Their first album,
Yes.
Night Terrors. Guess what the last track is.
Night Terrors.
But then their third album, Skeptic.
Yeah.
second track is Skeptic.
Okay.
And Into the Past, the first track is Into the Past. So I was like, oh, what if all of their
Yeah.
final, but it's not.
I think it'd be funny if the last track was the name of the next album.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. So they have a new single out also from just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Skulls and Flowers.
Skulls and Flowers.
Yeah, I think they do scary stuff.
Yeah. Spooky.
Spooky-ish.
So there's a place around here. Well, it's in Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Spooky Nook.
Awesome.
But it's funnier if you say those, like if you make them rhyme. So either Spooky Nook or Spooky Nook.
Okay.
Also, my friend Mike, when he worked at Hershey Park,
Yeah.
when they would get to like the Halloween time, like Hershey Park in the Dark or whatever they call it,
Yeah.
they would change the names of like some of the food things.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this.
Did we talk
before.
about this?
You could bring it back.
Okay. So, but like one of the things was like instead of like cookies and cream,
Yeah. You definitely.
Spookies and cream.
Yeah. This was brought up.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Okay. But then the idea is that it's Spookies and cream.
Spookies and cream. Okay.
Anyway, my turn.
It is your turn.
All right. Are you mad about this one?
No.
No,
Whatever.
not mad
I'm
about
just
it.
like, whatever. But the name, the name of the song really is the song. What's the name of the song?
Snooze.
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
I was listening to it on the way here, and I'm like,
I mean, it's acoustic. We're listening to the acoustic version of Snooze,
yeah, which is
by SZA,
more
featuring Justin Bieber.
I like everything. Just like some things just grab me a little bit
Sure.
harder. But
Yeah.
then I'm like thinking about it as far as this podcast, like some things that like I brought to the podcast, I'm like, this is great. And that was the last time that I listened to that.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so I like SZA. I haven't like listened to a ton of her stuff, but like everything I hear, I'm like, yeah, she's really good. I should
You
listen
mean
to more of
SZA?
her. But it's pronounced SZA.
I know. I was talking to Gladwell about it, about SZA,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, I didn't know how to pronounce that at first.
Yeah, I heard it pronounced at some point. I mean, it follows with like
RZA.
RZA and Jizza from
Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang. So her real name is Solana Imani Rowe,
Okay.
but known professionally as SZA or SZA.
SZA.
SZA. Yeah, so this song is the acoustic version, as I said, of the song Snooze, which is from her album SOS.
Was Justin on the original?
So it says, hang on a second, I don't think so, but the acoustic version features Justin Bieber, who stars in the official music video of the original version of the song, which is interesting. I have not watched the video, but do you have the original, or do you want me to pull it up?
You got to pull it up.
All right.
I'm not putting that on my playlist. Joking.
All right, so here is Through My Phone. So we get the vibe of the tune from that. And then this is the acoustic version, which just came out like a few weeks ago.
And we'll just
So,
play it. Man.
like I said, it's just like I think I saw it pop up like on my like For You playlist or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll dig that. Also, I like Justin Bieber on most things.
So, yeah, here it is. Lots of reverb, which I love. Some of the delivery is like of the time, like the rhythm,
Okay.
because that ba-da-do-da-da, ba-da-do-da-da, like that's kind of a lot of people are doing that.
Sure.
What?
Problem. I don't got nobody just with you right now. Tell the truth, I look better under you. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I snooze and miss the moment? You're just too important. Nobody do body like you do. I can't lose.
I like that he's like incorporated sooner. It's not just like
Like here's your verse,
here's your
the
verse
second
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just too important. Nobody do body like you do. You do. In the drop top run with you, I feel like Scarface. like the white bitch with the bob, you be my main one. Let's take this argument back up to my place. Sex reminds you I'm not violent, I'm your day one. We ain't had shit, yeah. It was magic, yeah.
Maybe because it's like too sparse.
Okay.
Like
because it's like literally just acoustic and not like stripped down or something. Is
well,
that
like there's not much change to the guitar part,
well, yeah.
which might be it's like, well, it was a 4-measure loop, and then they just looped it
Yeah.
instead of like no, play it the whole time because you'll get subtle variations.
Sure, yeah.
And then in the second verse, we're 2/3 of the way through the song,
Right.
and musically, like there's not much evolution of it, and maybe because it's the acoustic version, like no, we're gonna strip it back until it's just the song.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to go back and listen to the original and see, does that evolve over time? Does it get bigger? Or is it just like it's the chord progression?
I think it's just the thing. It's just like, I mean, there's chorus and verse and stuff, but it's just about like, it's just the delivery of the lyric. And
How can I snooze and miss the moment? You just doing, boy.
All right, their change. The guitar got a little bit more complicated because it's now instead of it's more arpeggiated.
Right.
So instead of do da do, it's do.
yeah.
So
Maybe if
But-
they took some more of those liberties sooner for you.
yeah, because we're at 3 minutes into a 3-minute song,
Yeah.
and it's like it finally did something different. But maybe that's not the
Yeah.
that's not the.
Well, it's more
the
about the
purpose.
vocals and the thing, you know. Like,
Well, all pop is
Yeah.
is about the vocals, and most songs are about the vocals. But I think that I want to be interested. It's a 3-minute song.
well, then maybe you would listen to the original. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Like when you hear an acoustic version or a remix version or whatever, like it's not meant to be about that version. You're supposed to like it's for fans of the original, I guess. in
is
a
it
way.
though?
I would think, or
think-
maybe it's a way to hook in some other people. Like,
well-
I don't like all the beats and I don't like the loop thing, but I like the acoustic guitar. I don't know. You know, it's like a little bit of
Like-
both, I guess. But
The acoustic version would be it's all about the song and what
Sure.
the song is.
Yeah.
Like let's strip it back.
yeah,
Because like
who are the people? There's somebody that says like, all good songs you should be able to just like play on an acoustic
Yes.
guitar or whatever.
Yep.
I don't know who says that, but
Like
it's
even
a
just
thing.
like a bass line and a melody.
Yeah.
If you can strip it back to just the bass and the melody, then it's still good.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't matter what you do with the production; it's still going to just be a great song.
Yeah.
Where this, it's 4 notes over and over and over again. If you went back that way,
Yeah.
and like the melody, like it's the same thing over and over and over again too. I'm not a lyrical person. We've discussed this in the podcast many times. So like the music is the thing that like draws me in first. So I was talking to somebody about this, and they were like they were shocked. They're like, "What? You don't listen to the lyrics?" It's like I do, but like the first thing that hits like that I draw onto is the music.
It's probably because you're a guitar player.
Probably.
And I probably focus on lyrics more because I'm a singer. Like that stuff all
exactly.
makes sense. Like
Yeah.
that's my students when we do our listening assignments in jazz band. Guess what the saxophone players notice? The saxophones, you know. Or if there's not a saxophone, they mention that. You know what I mean? Like,
There's no saxophone.
I had to. So part of for our critical listening assignment for jazz bands, it's always either a big band tune or like a small group thing, right? Because like it's not all just one or the other. So I had to like expand the prompt a little bit. Like originally it was just like, what do you think of this? Like, do you like it? Do you not like it? And then I had to kind of expand a little bit more on that. And so I give them like, here's like 8 questions you can answer. You can answer all those questions, some of those questions, none of those questions, but you need to talk about the music, you know?
Yeah.
But one of the things I had to put like an extra thing on was, because one of the questions I have is like, would you want to play this?
Yeah.
Or play a version of this? And especially when you play like a small group tune, sometimes it's only like one horn and like rhythm section. So like if that one horn is saxophone, all the trumpets are like, well, there's no trumpet in this. I'm like, yeah, but you have to like, you would play, when I say, do you want to play this? I'm saying, do you want to play a version of this that has you
Yeah.
on trumpet, you know, or that kind of thing. So I had to like kind of define that for them a little bit. of like, no, you can arrange these things. Like,
do you want to play this on your instrument?
Yeah, or a version of it, or whatever. So I've had to expand it a little bit. But yeah, we get all of that to say is that like the thing that we do is usually the thing that we focus on first and the most and whatever. But yeah. Oh, I had a thought earlier.
Yeah?
It's come up twice, and now I just like
chill
randomly thought
episode.
about it. Yeah. So you talked about, you mentioned about Shane Told and Silverstein, and I said I listened to that podcast interview with him, which is really good. And then you also mentioned about seeing like old friends and different stuff that you haven't seen. So they were both talking about, towards the end of the podcast, Matt, the host, and Shane were talking about the Is for Lovers tour that's going on right now. Have you seen those? There's like,
yes, I have.
Okay, so they're just playing in different places. It's like Ohio is for lovers, Massachusetts is for lovers, like those kinds of things. They're playing all over, and they've each played on them a little bit, and nice. Showing me the photo booth pictures.
Yeah, so like the one with like all of us is like everybody who went to minus 2 people from Girard.
Okay,
so we all went to high school and elementary school.
You
and the last one is my drummer's wife, and then there's Rich and me being punched.
Yeah.
Or punching each other.
I appreciate you and Rich punching each other. And then you make up at the end. That's good. That's funny. But so Matt from the Label Podcast and from the band Emery was talking about how the Is for Lovers thing is kind of cool because it's like, one, even though you haven't seen some of these folks in like forever, you still like kind of pick back up where you left off. Because like, I remember when we toured in like 2005, like that was fun. And like, I'm still friends with you and you're cool and whatever. Or like, hey, I like your new record and like that kind of stuff. But he said it's also like, and I thought a really funny analogy. He's like, it's also kind of like at the end of A League of Their Own, the movie, where you see them all in like present day. Yeah. And they're all like old. Yeah. And seeing each other for like the first time in 30 years. He's like, it's also like that a little bit. Because it's like, oh shoot, that guy got old. Or that person got old. But like, if you haven't seen them in half your lifetime or more, like of course it's like that. But I just thought that was kind of funny.
I'm thinking of all the people. So I'll talk about this off mic about like the what happened, because some of them are like anyways.
Okay. Little sizzle for me.
Some of these people I've seen multiple times and I think are great people, and then others like I really haven't seen in 23 years.
Yeah, and you're like, I could have gone another 23 without that.
Well, no, like these are good people.
Okay.
Everyone that I saw is a good person, and and I just like physically how they look. I was just like, I don't remember you this way. And also one of the persons, like I couldn't remember their maiden name. I'm like, what was their maiden name? And I mean, I'm friends with them on Facebook, so like I know like their married name, and like that's how I envision them and their name, because like that's who they are. But then I'm like, what was their last name? What was it? And then I couldn't remember it until like the wedding, and then I'm like, oh that, yeah. And then I couldn't remember their maiden name. It was weird.
That's funny. So. There's people like that. Like I can only think of as like Samantha Marie now, because like that's how their Facebook thing is. So
yeah.
I don't even know if I know your last name anymore, because it just comes up as Samantha Marie or whatever. Like that's funny. So cool.
All right,
that's the end of our chill episode.
It is really. It's chill. I don't know. I mean, you're tired.
I'm exhausted. Yeah.
And yeah. Anyways, so we'll see you next week. But yeah, Discord. Join the Discord. Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Facebook. Tell your friends about this if you liked it. If you made it this far, obviously you like listening to us. So
give us a rating on whatever you listen to, preferably 5 stars.
Yes,
that'd be fun.
And if you need help mixing, I'm just staring at Caprica, and she's just like, what? If you need help mixing, hit me up. Mixing music. Yeah. Podcasts.
So the Weekly Planet podcast that I like, they at the end of all their episodes they do all this stuff too. Like the plugs. But they've started where they'll read out 5-star reviews.
Okay.
And they're like, just write whatever, but give us 5 stars. And so some people were like, the subject line says like poop, and then they'll be like poop, 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 poop. And they're like, well, we read it, but you put 5 stars, so we don't really care. And then they read this other one, and they don't like vet them. They just kind of like randomly go to like Apple Podcasts and find one. So the other day he found one, and he was like reading it, and it was like all this like praise. about how great the podcast is and these Australian guys, and they're so funny and they're so cool or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's why I love the Auntie Donna podcast. He's like, damn it. It's like, whatever. He's like, those guys are funny, but thanks for the 5 stars.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Are you trying to find a 5-star review?
It's not going to pop up. I guarantee it, because it's a search.
That's fine. Maybe we can do it next week.
Two tines.
Two Tines podcast. It's like a weird fork. Two Tines.
I mean, it's like a serving fork.
You're like a serving fork.
No, like, you know, like when you're like cutting ham.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a ham fork. I don't really know.
It's Two Tines.
Two tines.
Two
I
Tines. Two
I
Tines.
was
You're
listening.
thinking of that song?
I was thinking. When you said two tines. I was listening to, I forget what it's, Strong Songs maybe, and they were talking about what is this song called?
The one that we're referencing?
Yeah.
What's a cover song by the Fugees?
It's like the millionth version, but what
is that song called?
Killing Me Softly?
Killing Me Softly.
Yeah, so that song, and they went through, and then every time that is like, it would go through, and I was listening to it with my wife, and I kept going like, one time, and then she'd be like, stop it. Like,
Stop doing it, actually.
anyways, we'll see it next week. Yes, we're done.
Yes.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.